The nervous system, pretty short chapter, so let's just go through it. So your cells of your nervous system. So your neuron is what transmits electrical signals. So what is your neuron made out of? Well, you have your dendrites, your soma, your axon hillock, your axon, your myelin sheet, your nodes of your synaptic terminal. So what does this mean, right? So dendrites are like the edges of your neuron, right? So dendrites, it looks kind of like a sun, but dendrites come off your neuron. Your soma is your neuron cell body, okay? Your axon hillock is pretty much under your soma. The axon is where the electrical signal like is sending to. Your myelin sheet covers your axon. So you're thicker than myelin sheet, the more electrical conduction that you have. And then these nodes are just the holes in between myelin sheets. So let's say that we have this, right? It's really big. Let's say I call this your axon, and then these are your myelin sheets, okay? Every gap between your myelin sheet is your node, okay? And then your synaptic terminal is where your neurotransmitters are sent to. So glia cells, so your astrocytes is what makes up your blood-brain barrier. Your epidermal cells is what's going to produce your CSF, which is your cerebrospinal fluid. Your microglia are pretty much your macrophages of your brain. Your organodendrocytes are pretty much what makes myelin in the CNS, okay? And then your Schwann cells is what makes myelin in the PNS, okay? Just commit those to memory. So chapter 4.2, we're going to talk about transmission of nerve impulses. So your resting memory potential is going to be negative 70 millivolts. You should definitely know that. So Na out, K plus in, and then these are going against your concentration gradient. So the way an action potential happen is depolarization, and what you really need to know is depolarization is just an influx of Na plus, okay? And then that then causes repolarization, which is a K plus influx. Now the thing is, when you have repolarization, we have something called K plus leak channels, okay? Those leak channels keeps it permeable to K plus, and as that happens, we have something called hyperpolarization. Hyperpolarization is an inhibitory effect, and it makes your membrane potential more negative. So refractory period. So when you have absolute refractory period, it means no stimulus can trigger a new action potential. Relative means stronger than normal stimulus is needed, okay? And then synaptic transmission is going to be, so your calcium influx triggers more neurotransmitter release. Your NTS binds receptors, and then they're cleaved. And then they're cleared. And by the way, NTS means neurotransmitters. And by cleared, I mean they're either broken down by an enzyme, they're either you either absorb them back or they're diffused through your body. And last but not least, the organizations of the human nervous system. So your central nervous system is going to be your brain and your spinal cord. Your PNS is split into your somatic, which is going to be voluntary, and then your automatic, which is going to be involuntary. And then your sympathetic nervous system is going to be that flight or flight. So when that happens, again, your heart rate goes up, your pupils dilate, you have vasoconstriction and all of that. And then your parasympathetic is going to be rest and digest. So when this happens, you relax, your heart rate goes down, and you're ready to like eat or something. And then some reflex arcs that you have is going to be, so your monosympathetic, which is just like the knee jerk, the doctor will hit your knee like poop, and then you kick. And your polysympathetic is pretty much your withdrawal reflex. Awesome. This was actually one of my better chapters to teach. So next we will see you in chapter